Welcome everyone, today I have a new guide for Honkai Star Rail. As you can see behind me, we have a lot of the free Stellar Jade to be collected. And in this video, what I want to do is, I want to provide you with a detailed guide of farming the simulator universe infinite times for free to play. Of course, you're not going to farm infinite times, right? So briefly going through over our notes, you can be farming the simulator universe to get all your weekly points that I didn't know initially. I didn't know we can repeat it. After that, I want to show you guys how to get as many blessings as you can with different methods and also different tricks. And also what do you get from repeating the simulator universe on the World 1 and also World 2. So the majority of this video will be helping you to get as many blessings as you can with different tricks and also different techniques. So we'll have a look which blessing to be selecting and also which of the choices will give you more rare blessings. And also over here we have different blessing type that will give you additional blessing and also additional reward if you select them correctly. We'll also be talking about choosing a particular path and also how this path can lead you into more blessing and also more Stellar Jade. And finally, I'll give you guys additional notes and also information about how to unlock the 960 Jade on the first hour and how to get the rest of the 320 Jade on the following hours. Now, before we go over to our notes, let's come over to the simulator universe and let me explain to you guys what is happening. So previously, I thought we have to clear World 3 to unlock everything, but I haven't got time to clear World 3, right? So what you're going to see is, in order to get more points, you can be doing repetitively World 2 and also World 1. This doesn't seem to be giving a lot of reward. Everything here seems pretty generic, right? But as some of our viewers were pointing out, you can be farming those worlds for different blessings. And notice over here, I'm 19, I'm about 18. Over here, I'm about 19, and also over here, I'm 19. I'm very close to be 22 on the blessings. And this will provide me a total of 320 Stellar Jade per unlock. So we have 4 different unlocks at the moment, and this will provide us with over 1,200 Stellar Jade. Now, while we repeat World 1 or World 2, we can also be getting ability points. And we'll have a look at how those will affect the ability points. And this is a really good grind if you have the free time and if you don't have energy. And this is actually really good for the free-to-play players. So coming over to our notes, you can see that I made a small summary. I was able to get 960 Stellar Jade using this method. And one thing I do want to highlight, you really want to start using this method after you clear the main story when you finally unlock the Fire Trailblazer. And this is after Adventure Level 24 with the main story. And once you do, you have the ability trees unlocked. So when you're farming this, you also get ability points for this. And this is really good because you can see here I get 35 increased attack and also again 40 increased attack when we unlock those, and we get more defense and also more HP. Now the straightforward version of this method is that you repeat the highest level of simulator universe that you can for additional loot, and this is how we unlock the weekly points and also we get additional Jade. But there is a lot of tricks involved. So the first thing you want to understand is, what do you get from repeating World 1 and also World 2? Well, as for the World 1, it has 7 different stages, and total you will get 80 ability points. For World 2, there are 13 stages and also 120 ability points. Now, if you're asking me which I will pick, I think I'll still pick World 2, but World 1 is very fast. So maybe World 1 is actually better because it's much faster. I'll be making adjustment and also testing for this as well, because I do think you get more rare and also 3-star legendary blessings with World 2. And during farming this simulator universe, as we defeat monsters, we can also be getting loots like those. Those loots are pretty good and they can save you some of the energies in the future if you start to need those loots. So here you can see a final screenshot of one of my parties farming the simulator World 2, and you can see the 120 ability points. Now, one thing to notice over here, I have stopped using healers for this one because my characters, we can focus on damage. Now, coming over to the most important part of this guide. Now, you might be wondering, how can we get more blessings super fast? So we have some really good tips and also guides for you guys. Now, step 1, you want to find a world you can farm very fast. So World 1 or World 2 or maybe World 3 after. The first thing you should know is, there is an icon over here, so notice the little book icon. If there's an icon on the choices of blessing, that means you do not have it unlocked. And when you're picking those, you should always pick the ones with the icon. Now, for the cases that you actually see multiple blessings marked that is not unlocked, you should always pick in this order. You should pick the 3 stars ones first, then 2 stars, then 1 star. This is simply because it's much more rare to find the 3-star ones. And I'll show you guys in game over here. So you can see I have 2 of the 3 stars left to be found over here. And over here again, I have 4 of the 3 stars not found. And similarly over here, 2 of the 3 stars, and similarly over here, 2 of the 3 stars. It is much harder to find all the 3 stars in the endgame. Now, while doing the farming for the stimulated universe, it is very important to understand which of the choices of the gate to pick. What I recommend is always pick region encounters, and here are some of the reasons behind it. So here is the order of the choices we pick to get the most rare blessings, to get the most unlock. It will take a little longer because you're fighting harder enemies. But of course, if you pick a world that you can easily auto, this doesn't really matter, right? So over here, I'll explain each of those choices into more details. The elite battle is very straightforward. After beating the elites, you will get a 3-star blessing, and you get a pick from them. Now, the raging encounter is quite interesting. I don't think battle actually gives you legendary or 3-star blessings, so we always go with encounters over here, and this is one of the encounters. So you have a choice of defeating different enemies, and if you fight both of them, you get 2 different blessings. And yes, over here you can see the first blessing I got from this event, and also the second blessing I got. Notice this also gave me 1-star, 2-star, and also a 3-star blessing. And you can see the ones over here, I got a blue blessings which I don't have, and I'll be picking the blue one over the golden ones over here to unlock my blessings for additional Jade. Now as for the random events, they also have a chance of spawning rare encounters that provide you with 3-star blessings, and this is also the case for trading, which we'll talk about on the next part. Now coming over to some of the very interesting mechanics and techniques for farming a specific set of blessings. So what I want to show you guys over here is, notice blessings have different categories. So there's blessing of preservation, blessing of remembrance, and there's blessing of the hunt. There's a lot of different blessings. Now let's say if we're trying to find a lot of blessing of preservation. So what you do is, at the start of the selection category, you will go with a blessing of the preservation as your first path. And this is very important. Now if you guys are watching this one and you are below adventure level 24 and you haven't done the main quest, you won't be able to see this particular option in the whole stimulated universe. But once you do the main story, after unlocking world number 3, you get to have this path. And this will help us to target which of the blessings we get. So if you guys remember earlier, you can see one of my finishing summaries of my blessings. I get 5, 3, 6, and 3. So it is quite important to see which of the icons for the blessing there is, because on each of the blessings, they will have an icon. So let's say if I'm trying to farm more preservation, I'll be picking as many as the shield icons as I can. Now what I want to show you guys is, once I picked the blessing of preservation, during this particular example I tested, I found 11 blessing of preservation. Over the previous ones where only I got 5 or 6, because last time I picked the hunted. Now what you can see is, after this round, I was able to unlock 2 additional 80 stellar Jade, because I got more blessing of preservation, and I also got some of these, which is this one. I also got some blessing of remembrance. Now as we keep going, I'll provide you guys with some additional tips. So at the start of the choices, you always want to go additional blessings. One of the reasons for this is, what you're going to see is, currently I'm still missing some of the 1-star blessings, so it's quite important for you to get as many 1-stars to unlock those. Now we mentioned earlier about picking one of the trading events. Now during the trading events, you can be trading a 1-star blessing to the 2-star blessing. You can also be trading a 3-star blessing for another 3-star blessing. So this is why I say it is always better to go with the choices over here. So I'll show you guys the order again. So I'll be going from elite battles, regional encounters, random events, trade over battles, because trade can also get us 3-star blessings. And even if we do get the trade for 2-star blessings, that's not bad as well, because I'll show you guys over here, I'm still missing some of my 2-star blessings over here, and also the blue ones over here. Now before we finish, as a summary, it took me about 1 hour to do all my blessings, so I got everything to about 19 or 18 over here to get 320 stellar Jade for each of the categories of the 4 categories. So this took about 1 hour for 963 stellar Jade. Now if you guys are planning to get the final stellar Jade, this will cost about at least 1 to 2 hours to my estimation, because this is really random and you might not be able to get the final legendaries, because you can see there's a lot of those. So I do want to warn you guys, if you're going for the final 320 Jade, it can take a while. So what I recommend is, when you have no energy left in the game and you still want to grind and you still want to get some freebies, it is always good to do World 1 or World 2 to get additional skill points. And because the skill points will help us in the future of the difficulties, this is always a win-win grind. And for free-to-play players, this is really good. Now, what I forgot to mention is that while you're doing this farming, you also get a lot of achievements. So let me show you how many achievements I got while I was testing the farming. I got a lot of achievements for doing this. So this and another maybe 20, 30 of the starter Jade you can get for different achievements. Now, before we finish, you can see we have lots of guides, lots of tips over here. And if you guys have any additional free-to-play guides and lots of tips and also tricks, let us know in the comments below or send me a direct message through Discord. We do have a Discord invite and you can join us for additional gamings with Sketching Impact, with Honkai Star Rail and lots of other games. Now, before you go, and if you guys didn't know, we have a new YouTube channel. And if you guys haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe and check out the behind the scenes and also fun clips and also more stories about us. And then you get to know me a little more personally instead of just reading the news and also the games, right? So I want to share a little bit more with you guys. So make sure you check this channel out if you're interested about Matt and also Uni. She's really funny too. And she's really shy. So I want to give her a surprise and do a shout out for the new channel to get some subscribers. Thank you guys. I'll see you guys next time.